Welcome to Tutorial Haven. Have you ever looked at a picture of some incredibly harsh place on Earth and wondered, how does anything live there? Well, that's exactly what we're tackling today, ecological adaptation. It's a huge topic for your biology exams, and by the end of this explainer, you are going to have it completely locked down.
So let's just start with that big question. How do animals manage to survive in the world's absolute toughest spots? From the freezing cold of the Arctic to a desert that's just scorching hot. What is their secret? How do they make a home in what seems like an impossible environment?
Well, to get to that answer, we have to understand one of the most important concepts in all of biology, adaptation. It really is the secret weapon that lets animals, like this incredible Arctic fox, not just survive, but actually thrive in some of the harshest conditions imaginable.
Here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to define what adaptation really is. Then, we'll cover the 3 key types, and you'll definitely be tested on these. We'll look at the Arctic fox as a fantastic case study, talk about why this all matters in the big picture, and then we'll wrap it all up with a super quick exam cheat sheet. Ready? Let's get into it.
Okay, Section 1. So, what exactly is ecological adaptation? Let's break down the what and the why of survival.
In the simplest terms, I want you to think of it like nature's toolkit. It's the whole process where a species, over a long time, develops the right tools to live successfully and, just as importantly, to reproduce in its own specific home.
And listen, this is the most critical point for your exams. I really want this to sink in. Without adaptation, a species just can't cope. It wouldn't be able to find food or escape predators or handle the weather. This isn't just about being comfortable. It's literally the line between a species surviving and going extinct.
Okay, I really want you to pay close attention here because this is a guaranteed topic for your exams. There are 3 main types of adaptation you absolutely need to know. Let's go through them, one by one. First up, we've got structural adaptations. The clue is right there in the name. This is all about an animal's physical features, its body, its structure.
So this is any part of an organism's body that gives it a leg up, a survival advantage. We're talking about things like the shape of a bird's beak, sharp claws, thick fur, or camouflage. Basically, anything you can physically see. And here's the cool part. These features aren't an accident. They're the result of millions of years of evolution sculpting the perfect tools for the job.
And this slide gives us 2 absolutely perfect examples. Take a look at the chameleon on the left. Its ability to change its skin color to blend in, that's a classic structural adaptation. Now look over to the right at those famous finches. See how each beak is shaped just a little bit differently? That's a structural adaptation perfectly suited for eating a specific kind of food.
All right, let's move on to our second type, behavioral adaptations. Now, these are not about what an animal has, it's about what an animal does. It's all about its actions.
So, these are the inherited or sometimes learned actions that help an organism survive. Think about instincts, activities that species just do to deal with their environment.
And here are 2 classic examples you'll see all the time, migration and hibernation. Birds flying south for the winter is a behavior that helps them find food and escape the brutal cold. A bear hibernating all winter, that's a behavior that helps it conserve precious energy when there's no food around. These aren't really conscious choices, they are powerful, built-in instincts for survival.
And that brings us to our third and final type, physiological adaptations. Now, this one is all about what's happening on the inside of an organism's body. These are the internal processes, and they're often totally automatic.
Yeah, this is the stuff you can't see. We're talking about an animal's internal chemistry, things like its metabolism, how it regulates its temperature, or even the ability to produce venom. It's the body's internal programming.
So let's look at the camel. Its body is an absolute master of conserving water. That is a physiological adaptation. It's not something the camel has to think about, it's just how its body works automatically to survive in the desert. Same thing with the frog on the right, its ability to manage its body functions internally is a physiological superpower.
Okay, so we've learned the 3 types, structural, behavioral, and physiological. Now, let's see how they all come together in one animal by looking at a true survival expert, the Arctic fox.
The Arctic fox really is the perfect case study because it's like a masterclass in using all 3 types of adaptation to conquer its environment. Let's dig into how it combines them to thrive where most other animals would just freeze.
Okay, let's break this down.
Structurally, it's got that incredibly thick fur for insulation and a brilliant white coat for camouflage in the snow. Behaviorally, it does things like curl into a tight ball to keep its body heat in. And then, physiologically, this is amazing. Its body automatically slows down its metabolism in the winter to save energy. See? All three types working together in perfect harmony.
So, okay, why does any of this matter outside of your biology class? What's the big picture here?
Well, adaptation is the engine of evolution itself. It's the reason we have this incredible, rich diversity of life all over the planet. But, and this is the crucial part for us today, our climate is changing faster than it has in a very, very long time. This is creating a high-stakes race for survival. Species either have to adapt at record speed, or they face disappearing forever.
All right, let's bring this all home. Here is your exam cheat sheet with the absolute must-know points. This is perfect for that last-minute revision before the test.
A really common exam question will ask you to define and give an example of each type of adaptation. They might also give you a description of an animal and ask you to identify the types of adaptations it has. This table is your best friend. Just remember, structural is the body, behavioral is the action, and physiological is the process happening inside. Got it? And to leave you with one final thought, I want you to consider how this applies to the world right outside your own window. How are the animals in your local park, or even your city, being forced to adapt to a world built by humans? Thinking about that is a fantastic way to really deepen your understanding. This has been an explainer from Tutorial Haven. Good luck with your studies!